Hey guys, what's cracking? Somebody give me a 5 for 5 and we'll go ahead and get fired up here. We've had a few things happen here on the sun, so we're going to talk about that. And we've had, actually, we got hit with a CIR, and I'll go into more of what that means here in just a few minutes. But we will definitely get there. Cool, cool. Good to see you guys. All right, so as always, I'm going to say it. Yeah, this is going to be a quick one. I say it kind of, yeah, in the funny sense from now on. But, yeah, I really am trying to make this one a little bit more concise and straight to the point here. I know a lot of you guys appreciate that. And I just kind of want to get into the information because there really hasn't been a whole lot going on except for, this past 24 hours, we've had a few things happen. So, we got a couple things to talk about. So, come out here and give you a update, and we will definitely take a look at that and see what we got. Oops, sorry, wrong button. All right. So, hi to everybody in there, and that's all I'm going to say right now, and I'll come back to you guys here in a few minutes. So to get started off here, guys, you guys see this right here on the KP. For guys that don't know what the KP is, that's an index they use to gauge our geomagnetism. How, wherever the tool's at that this is reading off of, that's what that's a number that they assign it to give it a strength value. A KP of 5 actually equates to a geomagnetic storm level 1. Okay. So as you can see, these are 3-hour increments. These bars here are. So what you're going to see is we got really close to geomagnetic storm levels, and none of this was forecasted. Not at all. Okay. Not even, yeah. So, and there's reasons for that, and I'm going to go over that real quick. So what we're going to do, actually, I'm going to just refresh that because I hate that when it does that. You see this up here? This is NOAA's forecast. This is NOAA's Space Weather Prediction Center. This is where we get our information from for this kind of topic. But there's other places you can get this data also, so you guys understand that. There's lots of places, actually. So, but with that being said, this is where most people go because this is really what most people tend to trust more than the other ones. And I use that trust word a little bit light there because there are other places that are trustworthy also. It's just their models aren't set up the same, and that's just what they are, right? So we just got to move with what we got, and that's what we're going to do. But as you can see here on the 15th, which is today, you can see very early on, and remember guys, this is UTC time. All right, so if you're on the East Coast, you got to figure in a 4-hour discrepancy there, right? So basically, if it's 4 o'clock here on the East Coast, it's 8 o'clock UTC time. So you guys can kind of figure out where you're at in the world. You guys can go to lots of different apps. It'll do it for you. So just, if you're curious about that, it's important to know. We use UTC time because it's a global thing that everybody uses, especially when using these tools. So you don't get confused on the time frame of what you're looking at something. So if I say I went from this tool to this one, if this one was using East Coast time, then I would be looking at a sun here that's 4 hours different than what this was trying to show me, right? So we use the UTC, and that's what we typically will talk about. Now there are a couple of sorry about that. There are a couple of sites out there that do use their local time, right? And I believe that the Tomsk-Russia Schumann Resonance tool does that. I could be incorrect on that. I'd have to go look, but I think that they use their local time. And it makes sense for that because that's a very localized reading. So, but anyway, as you can see here, guys, you get a 4 on the KP, one more, and we're in storm level. But this was reading like their forecast here because they changed it, and that's what they're supposed to do. If it happens, they'll change it to what actually happened. So, but they were actually forecasting a really low number here. If I'm correct, it was either a 1 or a 0. Okay, and that's important to know because when you get around 1s and 0s for an extended period of time, what happens is the sun's actually protecting us from cosmic rays. So when the X-ray and the sun activity gets lower, those cosmic rays make it in easier. So yeah, so it's a fine line, and it's a balance that we try to come to here when we're speaking about anything coming from the sun. So cosmic rays are coming from everywhere, right? They're coming from all directions. Just like we have a magnetic field for our Earth protects us with, our solar system is protected by the sun's magnetic field. Okay? So when the sun's getting weaker, like or the magnetic field of the sun may be getting weaker, or it's just not as active at that point, the magnetic field is a little bit less. So those cosmic rays, they come in a lot easier. So that's why we pay attention to that. And cosmic rays, I'm not going to get into that subject right now, but it's a very important thing to know. It's a very good thing to pay attention to for your health. It's essentially like taking an X-ray if you're at certain altitudes and latitudes up towards the poles. Yeah, wait for it. I've seen that. I actually went and got my daughter out of bed. Wait for it says the moon was pretty red last night as it approached the horizon just into sight. Hey, JJ. It most definitely was extremely orange. Okay, almost red, like you said. It was really cool. So if you go out, it was early on, in the evening. So if for East Coast time, it was around, gosh, it might have been around like 10. So, but it definitely was. It was red. It was orange. And she asked me what caused that, and and I really didn't have a whole lot of time to explain it to her. But I'm not going to explain it here either. But there's a lot of atmospheric things that can cause it, and just the angles of light, how it's being filtered through. There's a lot of things that go into it, but that's just what it is. Are you guys buffering? Let me see here. Yeah, Miss V, it might be me. Let me yeah, whenever that happens, guys, please hit me in the chat there. I'll glance down at the chat just for a second here and there, but I try to keep it minimized. Oh, is it okay? Okay. Well, what I can do though, let me because it may help her anyway if I do this. I'm gonna shut this tool off here. Anything that's running a movie, if you guys don't know that, if it's running a movie during your stream, like this one over here, if I had these all running, like this one's running right now, it would slow me down big time to the point where it would almost like be really, really choppy, and you wouldn't even want to watch it, is what I'm trying to say. But that just has to do with encoding and how things are, yeah. Anyway, technical stuff. But, so back to this. We did get hit with the CIR. What is a CIR? You guys are, and I've talked about that before, but I'll explain it again. This is over at spaceweather.com, and I'm using this because he does a really good job of explaining it here. NOAA forecasters say that a CIR, co-rotating interaction region, could hit Earth's magnetic field on September 17th. CIRs are transition zones, okay, this is where it tells you what they are, between slow and fast-moving solar wind streams. Okay, slow and fast-moving solar wind streams means basically you got to slip like from coronal holes, or it could just be from normal solar wind and a faster one behind it. It's kind of like a snowplow effect. So you have one speed of solar wind, you have another speed of solar wind, and as the one catches up, it's making it more dense as it gets closer, because the one in the front is kind of acting like a wall, just to push it up against. So when the CIR, that transition zone, when that crosses our magnetic field, it's as if we're getting hit with the CME pretty close to it. Okay, I've seen CIRs jack us up into G2 level storms, just like completely out of the blue. Okay, hey Siggy, I ain't seen you in a minute. Good to see you, bud. But that's what a CIR is. It's just basically a buildup of dense particles in between a faster and slow moving solar wind stream. Okay, and as that rotates through the solar system, and when we enter that space, it hits, and that's what causes it, right? So I tell you what, let me I'll bring this one back up real quick because this is a good way to explain it. You can see if you said like these little spirals was a solar wind stream, and sometimes they are. This area in between, see where my cursor is? That would be the CIR. Now, it's not usually going to be that wide. It's going to be pretty thin most of the time. But when that crosses our path right here, it hits our magnetic field, and it acts kind of very similar to a CME. All right. And what you guys are looking at there, guys, that is an eruption that happened today on the sun. And I'm going to go over that. That's from a filament eruption. But this model saying it's not going to hit us. The NOAA model is actually agreeing with it. But we're just going to leave it at that for now because we got a few days to look at it. So anyway, we got hit with that CIR. And if you guys remember, I think I did a short. I told you guys to go over and watch Matthew Shipley's video. Please go watch his video from, I think it was the 9th, I believe. I actually seen a couple little like halo eruptions. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show them to you. Okay, so if I go back here to the 9th, this is from LASCO C2. This is on Soho. It is a observatory. It's a satellite about 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we are, and it's always looking at the sun, and it stays in orbit basically with us around the sun. So if I pause this, I tell you what, I'll see if I can't zoom in a little bit too, just to give you guys a better look at this. You see this like hazy look? That's kind of the halo thing we talk about, right? That's just how the coronagraph represents what we're seeing here. But when that happened, I seen that, and I didn't see any, I went and looked at the sun, like on this imaging, on SDO, and I didn't see anything. So I was kind of assuming that it was going off the backside. Now, why would I make that assumption? Well, I made that assumption because this is a black occulter disk. This is from our perspective, right? So if it's not coming, if it looks like, if we can't see it, but we can still see the outside edges of it, like this, like that's what they call a halo, it's either going to be coming right at us, or it's going to be going directly off the backside away from us. All right, and so that's why I went over here, and I didn't see anything. So I hopped over to Matthew Shipley's channel, and I asked him, I said, hey, did you see anything? And he started dipping into it and looking into it, and he found a couple filament eruptions right in the middle. So not only did we get hit with the CIR, I think that we caught just a little bit of a filament eruption. Okay? It's funny because there were two of them. And that's what it takes for a CIR, a slower and a fast-moving solar wind stream. So was it a CIR, or was it these stealth little filament eruptions? It was probably both. Okay? And the timing of it just kind of happened at the same time. So if I start this back up, you can see how right about, see that eruption right there, and see I kind of like the halo on the edge here. So it wasn't like a huge eruption. That's why it didn't show up very well. Also, the sun was the background, and I've talked about that at length here. When you're looking dead on the sun, you're not looking, the background of space is not your background. So there is no contrast there, and it's harder to see things that are like right there. So, anyway. Hello to everybody in the chat. I'd stop and say hey, but I'm going to get through this first, okay? I'm really trying to respect people's time because I know I squirrel a lot. And I just want to help, just get this stuff out here. So, if we move back here, 9/9/2022, yes, that's when it popped off. That's what. Yes, you're correct, Vicky. 9/9/22. So that, and it impacted basically late in the day on the 14th. So these things move at different speeds, typically 3 to 5 days, and that's in that window. So, whether it was or whether it wasn't, it doesn't change that we most definitely. What the heck is going on with that? That's weird. Wow. Hold on, let me just refresh that, see if it does anything. Wow, that was weird. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, you're welcome, Vicky. Um, but yeah, so yeah, that did happen. It wasn't expected. That's why I'm talking about it. It was something that was just unexpected that people see. Hey, let me ask you guys something here real quick. Can you guys, is my audio loud enough? I've got myself maxed out, and I'm wondering if I ain't having a problem with my headset. That's the only reason why I'm asking. If it sounds about normal where we're at, we're all good. But if not, then I'll try to look at it. What is the Schumann Resonance? It is okay. Cool. Thanks, guys. The Schumann Resonance is a vibrational frequency between our ionosphere and the surface of the Earth. It's what vibrates in there, and we, I'm not going to go into detail there, but it takes 7.83 hertz level to what they would consider normal. Okay. Anything outside of that, we can start having mental issues, physical health issues, all that stuff. Thank you, Siggy. Appreciate you, bud. Okay, so also we've had that sunspot return. Okay, see this down here? That's AR 3088, I believe. I think is what it was. That thing was blowing big ones off the backside the whole time it was back there, and it started to quiet it down again. And it's crested. It survived a full rotation, a full cycle around the sun. Okay, and it's back. Now it's not as active as what it was. It's still sizable. It's still a big one, right? But yeah, so yeah, let's hold on a minute. Let's see here. Okay. But anyway, guys, yeah. Let's just let's just try to be okay in there, guys. Sorry, I wanted to make sure things were cool. You guys are handling things fine. Just yeah. You guys know all the, I guess I could run through the chat rules. Can't bash other people, can't go personal attack, that kind of thing. Don't talk about any other channel in a negative way, whether you think I like them or not. Basically, just be an adult. Okay? You can have different opinions, but don't be using any kind of vulgarity, those kinds of things. My mods know that. I just don't say it so much because I forget. I forget that not everybody acts like an adult, just to be honest. It's amazing sometimes. But anyway, let's just go ahead and move forward here. So we do have a large coronal hole, okay? And as you can see here, that's what this is. All right. So what's that mean? Well, the corona of the sun is opened up. All right. And what that does is it allows for plasma, solar wind, to escape out. And it comes out faster, more dense, all those things. So when these things are right in front of us, which is what this is, because this is from SDO from our perspective, right? And this one here actually doesn't sit out about 1 million miles closer to the sun. It's in geosynchronistic orbit with us on the Earth. So it rotates actually with the Earth over the same spot. This thing, it does a figure 8 pattern over top of the East Pacific, which is right around South America and up towards Mexico, right? It does like a figure 8 pattern. And it always stays in that area over our planet. But it's always got its eye looking at the sun. So the eye is all continuously rotating to keep its eye on the sun. So that's where this satellite's at. So it's from our perspective. And as you can see this, when the corona opens up, that's the surface of the sun. There's not a hole in the sun. There's a hole in the corona of the sun. So when that opens up, obviously stuff flows out. That's what we're going to see. Now within the next 3 days, I would what we're going to see here, guys, is you're going to see the KP start to react. Okay, that KP level is going to start going up because our magnetic field is going to be impacted by the solar wind, the increased solar wind from this coronal hole. Now, if it's strong enough and lasts long enough, we could get into storm level. And if it does so, I'll be here to tell you about it. But as of right now, nothing big, right? So let me take you guys, and we'll come back to this in just a second too. But I want to show you the eruptions that happened today here on the sun. And that's them, okay? See that? There's actually two of them there. And I'll show you, because there's one that popped off here, one there, and that, you know, the sun's still erupting as we speak. The sun's becoming active again, facing us. Okay, and again, I'll go over that a little bit more here in detail. But this eruption here is what this model's showing us. Okay, Earth is here, so this thing is set to miss us. Okay, just saying. So if that changes, I'll be back on here to tell you. But for now, it's set to miss us. So there's not much to talk about when it comes to that. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't get proton increase from it. What's proton increase do? Well, that's what we consider radiation storm. Now, they are forecasting that there's, you know, a 10% chance of radiation storms for the next 3 days. That's actually, it's not a high number, but it's not a real low number. I know 10% seems pretty low, but usually that thing sets at 1, unless there's something going on. So if we see the protons start to increase, this will creep up towards the 1, and, you know, and we'll be back on here to talk about it. Now, also, if you're ever over here looking at this, and you see this, like, what looks to be like speckles, this kind of looks like dirt and dust flying around here on the red view. See that? Usually, this is a pretty smooth looking capture, right? So when you see that stuff start to increase, typically that means that you're seeing more, it's charged particles. Okay, so that means that you're getting more radiation right there. So that could, you know, when you see an increase in this, especially if it's significant, you might want to come over here to NOAA and check this out, because we actually could be having a radiation storm. So yeah, man. Why can't people just... Okay, guys. Yeah, I don't know what's happening in there in the chat there. But yeah, they're allowed to, you know, people want to come at me, that's fine. You know, if they want to have their opinion, I encourage people's opinions, okay? And I haven't read it. I trust you guys. It's all good. Okay, cool. So I just want to make sure things are being done the correct way there, guys. You know, I want everybody to be able to say what they need to say as long as it's respectful. It's okay to disagree with me, and it's okay to disagree with everybody in there. So, you know, it's okay as long as it's respectful and not an attack on somebody's, like, hey, you're ugly, or hey, you're stupid, and that kind of stuff, right? And also, if they're just intentionally trying to instigate things, you know, yeah, you guys are cool. You guys, my mods are awesome. I trust you guys, but I did want to make sure that everybody understands that. I don't say it a whole lot. Maybe I should. I probably should say it more often so people know. That way you guys aren't stuck in a hard position there, to try to know what to do, you know. But thank you guys for handling that in there for me. Appreciate you. But again, if it wasn't something that extreme, please let me know, and I'll unban him or her. I'm not sure which one, and we'll give them another chance, that kind of thing. If it was really bad or whatever, obviously that's... Yeah, I get you, Rock. Yeah, I get you, man. I just want to, you know, I want to have my opinion heard, right? And it's just, for me, I try to really be really lenient on those kinds of things, and that's why I do that. So, just saying. And again, I'm not going to waste your guys' time talking about that again. As yeah, it's over and done with. But if it wasn't that bad, somebody let me know, and we'll give them another chance and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so you got the 94 angstrom here on SDO, and again, guys, you're going to see like little blips and flashes, and if you look right here, you can kind of see an eruption. See that? That's a filament erupting off, and I'll show it to you on the 304 angstrom, okay? But we'll look at it here on the 211. You see that? Right there, okay? So, yep. Hey, Jeff, what's up, bud? And you can see that this sunspot's coming around. We're going to be getting some, yeah. Anyway, we're going to be getting some activity. So, if you look up here, you got darker little like shadows, okay? And those are filaments, okay? It's plasma, just like an incandescent light bulb. If you look right here, you can kind of see an eruption. Watch. See that? That's one of those eruptions that, well, it might not even have shown that one yet, but because of this location and how it's flicking off, these are going off to our what would be considered the west. I know it's backwards, but that's what they would consider west when we're looking at the sun. But if I run this back to the beginning of this time lapse, you're going to see a bigger filament, okay? Watch right here. See that? That's the bigger eruption, okay? So you get another one over here. We got plasma, we got solar rain over here. That's plasma just raining back down to the sun on a magnetic connection line. That's all that is, okay? That's what that is. And it looks like rain, so they call it solar rain. And, you know, I could zoom in, but it's not really necessary because it's you can see it, but it's not like breathtaking type of stuff. So, but this is our magnetosphere here. I'm not even going to waste your time on this, guys, because there's nothing going on here. Geoelectric, nothing going on there either. So if we go moving here, guys, if you guys want to revisit the Starlink thing that happened, go over here to spaceweather.com and please check it out. Talking about when we had the geomagnetic storms and SpaceX launched those satellites and they fell out of the sky. They explain why. Okay, he goes into it in a lot of detail over here. So come over here and read this, and you know I'm not going to read it to you, okay? Because he did the work, he deserves it. Now I will say it was a G1 class storm, and they had launched multiple times in those conditions. So something different, and you got to go over here and read it, and it'll tell you what it is. But they figured out what it is anyway, at least in their opinion. But yeah. So okay. Yeah. Okay, here's the thing. All right. I'm going to say this, and it is what it is. It's just, yeah, you're right. You're right, E-Rock, okay? You're not doing anything wrong. Just so you know. I am not at all. So we're just going to drop that and move on. Okay? Nobody, you know, you didn't do anything wrong in there, E-Rock, okay? Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I really don't. You know, trying to instigate things is, you know, it's kind of disruptive and all that, and I'm not sure if they came back in here on a second account or what have you, but that's okay. You know, we're positive people here. I don't hate people. I don't think E-Rock hates people. I don't think anybody in here hates people. You're right, E-Rock. I mean, we got you, brother. I trust you, and I didn't read the whole thing, so I don't know. That's why I'm not even really commenting on it. I just wish that people can just, you know, if stuff like that happens, just drop it and move on, you know? And so, unfortunately, you get people in here that, and everybody, it's on every channel, too. Whether that was intentional and maybe there was just a miscommunication, I don't know. I didn't read it. but I do trust my mods, and that's just where it's at. So, um, Geoelectric live stream right there. See that? No, I did that on purpose. So anyway, guys, yeah, so that's what's happening right now. There's not a, again, I just want to come on and give you an update because I hadn't in a minute, and I wanted to, make sure that you guys knew that we had a couple little eruptions. We do have some stuff happening. It isn't big, but it's decent, right? Now, Tommy Scoville, Captain Tommy Scoville is going to be back at you, Jerry. He's going to be coming over here to on next either next Wednesday or Thursday. We were going to do it tonight, but we just couldn't get all the information together at once yet. And we're gonna be talking about how to use a sextant. Okay, if you guys don't know what a sextant is, it's a tool that's used to be able to navigate without technology, like out on the ocean. Boats and ship captains and stuff use that a lot. So I just wanted to, point that out. That's going to be happening next Wednesday or Thursday. Okay. Also, guys, this is awesome. This is a great thing to be sharing with you guys. My counselor is going to be coming over here to the Lifeboat channel this weekend. Not sure exactly what day. Me and Tommy got to hammer that out here in the next day or so, and I just have to get back to her. She said she would do it whatever day. So she's going to be coming on. She's going to be sharing her experience. She's a counselor, and she actually fought an addiction herself, and unfortunately she lost her son a couple years ago to an overdose. Okay. It's heartbreaking and it's inspiring all at the same time. Okay. She's an awesome person. She's willing to share that with the world. And to me, I just can't say how much that just says of a person she is and all that. But we've been doing a lot of good shows over here, guys. I mean, check this one out. I mean, look at that. Can sex be your drug? And if so, can it can it be as bad as a drug addiction, that kind of thing? And it most certainly can. We talk about some heavy subjects over here. Addiction's real. Recovery needs to be happening, and things have to change to get things to a better place. What we've done for years is not working, and we've chosen to come out here, step out here, and do something a little different. It's a call-in show also. So if you guys have opinions, want to talk, it's a call-in show. Didn't used to be till about a month ago, and we still were doing good things. So Tommy, you'll see Tommy's face on here. For me, I'm in the background running the technical stuff, but I do talk too. Okay. I share all my stuff, and I really hope that you guys come over here and check this out. What I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to click on this one, and so you know what Tommy looks like. Let's run it up here a little bit. There's Captain Tommy. He's probably punching me in the face in his head right now. But anyway, I'm going to copy that link, okay? And I'm going to put it here in the chat. So if you guys want to come check this out, I would really, truly appreciate it. Come over here and check us out. We're going to be live tomorrow, 8 o'clock. We're live 5 days a week at 8 o'clock, Friday through Tuesday, okay? And this weekend, we're going to have my counselor on for a guest. And, guys, she's an awesome person, and you guys are going to learn a lot. She, like I said, she lost her son, and she fought an alcohol addiction for lots of years, and it's heartbreaking, and it's inspiring, and she has some really good insights, and I'm so glad she's willing to share with us. It takes some courage to do that. Vicky, she was in here earlier tonight. She actually came on and talked for probably 15-20 minutes during the live call-in part of our show. So if you guys have anybody that's in addiction that needs help, if you want to just learn, if you yourself need help, please come over here. We will most definitely do whatever we can to help. But come check us out, guys. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification. That way we go live at 8 those 5 days of the week anyway. But we're going to be starting to do a little bit more shorts and things like that through the week also. So please come check us out over here, guys. I really think that it's going to be something that you guys would enjoy, even if you don't, have people personally affected by this, which is hard to believe if you don't. It's so hard for me to think that, there's somebody out there now that hasn't been touched by this freaking epidemic. Okay, it really is. It just is, and it's not just opiates. It's all drugs. Okay, so please come on over here and check it out. Give us a chance. Help us do something good, and that's what we're doing. Right? That's just what it's about. And it's such a family over there too. The family atmosphere here is just the same as it is over there. Go check out Marfugal and everybody else we talk about, guys. Ripper's going to be Rip Curl Readiness. He actually texted me today and said how much he's been enjoying our shows here as of late, over here on the Lifeboat. And I'll back that up so you guys can see what we talk about. See that? Why are our kids dying? We got to talk to our kids about this stuff. Hallucinogenics. Is that a good thing to try to get off of the another addiction such as opiates? How to start recognizing relapse, stages of relapse. How to know if your kids are actually on drugs. There's signs that you need to look for. Don't be afraid to talk to them. Is addiction the key to stay miserable? That was an interesting show. It was actually pretty cool. So, but anyway, guys, come over here and check us out. I actually shared my suicide story. I shared my addiction story over there. My videos are over there also, plus a lot of other brave people that's just come out and just been such a blessing to me and Tommy both. We learn more from them than we could ever show people. And now we've turned it into a call-in show so people can voice what they get to say it. So it's just so, yeah. Yeah, you rock it. A lot of people are, a lot of opiates going around, that's for sure. But, so I will be over there, guys, tomorrow, 8 o'clock. If something else happens here, space weather, I definitely will be here also. Also, guys, go check out Chase the Heat. He's trying to scale back how much content he's putting out, and he's doing a really, really good job with his other content. If you guys don't know who Johnny Scoville is, you might be living under a rock, but I don't know. He's just the Pepper King, man. He's super hot stuff all the time. He's an OG, just saying. So go check out him also. That's Chase the Heat. It's entertaining. It's good stuff. It's all positive stuff. Not sending you to somebody that's negative. So, all right, guys. I am going to go ahead and pop off. So, God bless. Yahusha saves. And, yeah. You can drink this Kool-Aid.